Hey, what's up, guys? This is Thomas, or Dossifying, and welcome back to another interview. And today we're going to be interviewing Isabelle, and
Hi.
we'll be asking her a couple questions, figure out some problems that a lot of these guys have, maybe offer some solutions, and maybe we can figure out why girls say certain things so much. So.
Maybe.
So, starting with that, I was gonna ask you for why do girls say I'm fine so much when it's probably the opposite?
I think it's one of those things where girls just they want to seem chill. Like we want to seem like we're chill. And so we're like, "No, it's fine." And like the attitude very clearly comes across and it's like it's not fine, but I don't know. For me personally, it's like I'm an indecisive person. So if I'm talking to a guy and he's like, "Oh, do you want me to come over?" and we have like plans and then he cancels them and I'm like, "Oh, that's fine." It's because I'm kind of like, I'm not trying to put pressure on them, but I'm also like pissed off.
Do you want the guy like to speak up if when you say that? Like, are you expecting him or like hoping that he'll be like, "Oh wait, no, wait, what do you mean by that? Like, is there something I can do?"
Kind of, yeah. Like I think whenever a girl says I'm fine, they're kind of low key hoping for the guy to be like, "Oh, wait, I'm so sorry. This isn't okay." Like, I think girls have like the little secret, like,
Right.
intention. Like, and it's subliminal. Like, I don't even think I realize it when I'm doing it, but I'm definitely being passive aggressive whenever I say I'm fine.
So, when you've said it in the past, for example, what does it meant when you say it?
It means I'm angry. Like, it means, like, you shouldn't be doing this.
Huh.
So like basically whenever I've said it, it's meant like I say I'm fine because I want to seem like, no pressure on you. I'm
Strong,
fine.
strong, independent woman. She doesn't need a man.
Yeah, exactly. Except also wrong choice of words, but like you better come
Fucked
over,
up.
do whatever you said you were gonna do.
Huh. And going into the doing whatever you were gonna do, a lot of the time, like, if you, like, see a guy or whatever, it, like, ends up leading to cuddling, right?
Yeah.
Why do girls specifically get, like, so much satisfaction out of cuddling?
I feel like it's just kind of, I don't know. It's kind of like the feeling of being protected and like close to someone, but not necessarily in the most like intimate way. It's, I don't know how to describe it, but it is like satisfying.
Huh. Would you say that one of, like, doing that specifically is an easy way to get attached to somebody?
Probably. I mean, it depends on the person, and I guess it depends on like how you're cuddling. But I would definitely say it's a way to like grow like some sort of emotional bond for
Huh.
sure.
Because, at least from personal experience, I know some guys that, like, intentionally don't do it because they know they'll get emotionally attached, and they don't want to do that because they know the girl is just gonna, ghost them completely after. So there's, like, no point in, like, seeing them at all. And I know you're laughing because it's true that you've probably done that before. Why do you girls do that?
I don't know. I mean, like cuddling is nice and it's comforting. And I guess you just said guys get emotionally attached when they cuddle. So maybe now I'll have to add that to my book of secrets, like if I ever want to lock down a guy. But I don't know. We're just evil sometimes.
I would change this sometimes to a lot of times. At least in my case, it's been absolutely horrific. Never want to
But
go
you know,
back.
it's fine, right?
Oh, it's fine.
It's,
Oh, it's fine.
it's
Definitely not
fine.
gonna be crying in like 10 minutes. Definitely not. It's
No.
fine. But I was gonna say that I think for a lot of guys, or at least a lot of girls that don't get emotionally attached, because they have a lot of options, you know? So like,
Yeah.
they can do this and they're like, oh, that was fun. Okay, next guy. Okay, come in, see what you can do. And maybe I'll get emotionally attached for, you know, a day or two. You know, maybe I'll see you again. Maybe we'll hang out. Maybe get coffee almost, you know, maybe have a date, do something fun besides the ordinary. And then actually, it's kind of boring. Let me move on to the next guy.
Yeah, well, I definitely feel like girls kind of have their one main guy who they want, and then they have a lot of like kind of side guys that they can pull along. And so it kind of ties into what you're saying, like you have your one main guy who you really want,
right?
But then it's like girls do often have a lot of options, so it's kind of easy if you really wanted to play someone along. I'm not saying I'm like that, but
right, because every word you say, you have like regret in that voice. You're like, yeah, I would never ever do that. No, definitely not. Like, okay, we get it. You're one of those girls. It's okay. We'll keep it a secret, just on this video.
Yeah.
Nobody else will see it.
Perfect.
Yeah. And I was gonna say, leading into that, with relationships, what are like the levels of intimacy you have in a relationship?
Now this is what I'm gonna have to think about. Like, I guess, what do you mean by that? Like, levels of intimacy.
So, for example, when you go on a date with somebody, right? You might first, you know, meet them, you'll greet them, whatever, maybe you hug. I don't know how Canada does it, but the French sometimes kiss each other on the cheek. It's very different in other countries. And then, you know, you'll go on a date with them. Maybe you do something fun, you go get ice cream, you share an ice cream together, then you like walk along a beach or something. Well, actually, in Canada, I guess you like walk along in like the street. Maybe on a mountain, maybe on a mountaintop when you ski, you like hold their poles.
Yeah.
You do that, and you kind of get closer to them. You start like talking like physically closer to them. You start like whispering or things. Maybe you start holding hands, like that sort of thing.
I think, okay, so I guess from my personal experience, when you're seeing somebody, like let's say you're like, okay, let's watch a movie, because here in Canada it's snowy right now, like there's not much else to do, especially during COVID. Like, you're gonna be watching a movie or whatever. And for me, it's like you start like, you're just like talking, it's awkward, and you're sitting like miles apart from each other because you're not comfortable yet. And then I feel like usually there's like the playful like banter where you're kind of making fun of each other, or at least like I'm a big person who will like, I'll make fun of the people who I am interested in, or I'll like play fight them or something stupid like that.
Okay.
And then yeah. And then it like moves up from there, and then like you kiss and whatever.
And then it like, you know, continues further, right?
Yes, potentially. Not on the first date. Not for me.
Never on the first date.
Never on the first date. I feel like if you are just meeting this person and it's your first date, then like for me, even kissing is a bit much. Like, it's like, give me a second date so that you know that I like you. I had a guy try and kiss me this summer, and I actually was like, whoa, no, because I didn't like him, and it was our first date. It was our first time meeting, and so I had to straight up stop him from kissing me because I didn't like him. But I think it's like pretty obvious when you like someone.
Right. No, I think that's interesting though, because I think traditionally, at least society in like the 1900s and so forth, it was like very normal, you know, to go on multiple dates before you did anything, right?
Yeah.
But nowadays, you know, there is no date. It's literally like, come to my room, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's kind of interesting how that's played out, because it's a lot less of like talking and a lot more action, and it's like less, I guess, emotions are attached to it, and like knowing the person and like understanding them.
I totally agree with that. And I feel like I'm a little bit, I guess, old fashioned in that way, where I'm like, no, like, if I really like you, you'll know that I like you, and like we can kiss on the first date. But then after that, like I'm kicking you out. Like, you're going home. You have to take me on a second date. You have to buy me flowers. You have to really wine me and dine me before
Right.
anything else.
Does that wine and dine include like paying for the meal on the next date? Is that expected?
No. For me, it's not. Like, I'm very much the kind of person who will offer to pay, or at least offer to pay my half. And I mean, usually it is the guy who pays, and I'm fine with that. Like,
well, I'd hope so.
Admittedly, I'm like, I won't put up that much of a fight, but I'll at least pretend to fight.
So you don't even go into it expecting to be like, all right, let me put up this front that I'm gonna pay. Be like, oh yeah, I can. Oh, okay, yeah, no worries. Yeah, go ahead, pay for this $100 check.
Kind of. Like, I'll be like, no, it's fine. Like, I can pay. Like, it's totally fine. But like, I feel like, I mean, you're a guy. If a girl was like very persistent about wanting to pay, you'd be like, no, like, I'm gonna pay. You wouldn't actually let the girl pay. And I feel like that's just society. Like,
yeah.
And I mean, if they were like, okay, yeah, you pay your half, then I'll be like, okay, I got you. I'm not afraid to spend some money.
I feel like it'd be very taken back for you if they said, oh yeah, can you pay the whole bill? And
honestly, yeah, probably.
At least half I think is reasonable, because you don't know them. You know, like
Exactly.
I've always paid for like, the bill, because I feel like that's just like a general social norm. But
yeah.
like, I don't know. It just seems, I don't know you. Why should I be subject to pay for a whole meal? When like, I would say if we were dating and, further on the dates, yeah, I'd pay for the meal or something like that.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Yeah, I also feel like further on when you're dating too, it kind of becomes more normal, at least for me, where like I'll be like, okay, you got this one, I'll get the next one. Like,
right.
You buy the movie tickets, I'll buy the snacks, like that sort of thing. So it's like evening itself out, because also like you said earlier, strong independent woman, don't need no man. Like,
See,
I don't want them to have anything over me.
I feel like every girl says that until it actually matters, and then they absolutely backtrack to like absolute just like whimpering in a corner, because
then it becomes fun. Then it's like, no, I'm fine, babe. You did nothing wrong. I'm fine.
That's so atypical. I don't know. It's just everyone wants like something that they think they have when they don't. And then when it's an admittance, when they don't have it, they become almost like refusal to acknowledge it, or just like flat out like lie. Like you were saying, oh yeah, I'm a strong independent woman, and you're like, no, blah blah blah, and they're, oh no, that's all right, like that's okay, no worries.
It all just like contradicts itself, but
yeah, I don't know. It's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Well, that's gonna wrap up the interview. Thank you very much, Isabelle, for talking about these subjects. Recommend to all guys, if they say I'm fine, clearly not, especially with Isabelle here. So if she says that ever to you, you might just maybe want to walk away from a burning bridge.
Run away.
Run away. Yeah, she might come after you, actually, probably.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you are new, and stay tuned for your in the next video. Bye bye.